Hi guys, today we're going to be chatting about what's new from Rimmel. I feel like they've launched so much in the past year and a lot of it has been really great. So I'll link to a previous what's new from Rimmel that I did over the summer down below that had an Urban Decay Naked Heat dupe in there, an extension of their Stay Matte liquid lip colors, lots of great stuff. And then I also reviewed their breathable foundation either in the beginning of this year or late last year, and I really liked that one too. So I will link to that down below. But today we are chatting about a potential Urban Decay Naked Cherry dupe. They've got new liquid lipsticks. They are the Stay Satins, and then they've also launched 4 blushes. So I'm gonna chat my way through all of the products today and show you demos, but let's go ahead and get started. Can I just also say that I've already filmed this video, and as I was about to wrap it up, I noticed all of my bottom teeth had lipstick on it. I don't know why. And I filmed another video earlier today. I almost never get lipstick on my teeth, and earlier today it happened as well. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, let's chat about the Maxi blushes. There are 4 in the range, and I'm really excited about these. Firstly, just because of the packaging. Drugstore blush to me is one of the places that the drugstore lacks the most in terms of shade range, in terms of packaging and performance, and just, I don't know, I'm never overly satisfied with a lot of drugstore blushes. So I'm really excited about these because of the packaging. Firstly, it's super simple. You can see the shade through there. I don't need a blush brush in here that's going to be like awkward and weird. I don't need a mirror. So very, very happy with these. And the first shade I tried on my cheeks was Third Base. This is the lightest shade and the only shade with shimmer in there. So it didn't really work for me because it has such a light color. But if you have a more fair skin tone, this would probably work for you. And I'm not huge on shimmer in my blush anyways. It's not a ton, but like I could do without it. I'd rather just add my own highlighter. Then I'm wearing, also tried on the Maxi blush in the shade Sweet Cheeks. This one is one of my favorites. I love these kind of peachy blushes. If you're much deeper than me, I don't think this would work for you, but I always love peach blushes, and very rare, especially at the drugstore. The blushes can be so like pastel, but this has enough depth that it shows up on my skin. And the next 3 are matte that I'm mentioning, and I feel like I have like a bit of a tan now, so when I get even a little bit more fair in the winter, it'll be even better. The next is in the shade Wild Card, and this is beautiful. It has that very like flush cheeks just in from the ski hill. Not that I've ever experienced that look to your face, so I think that this could work on the majority of people, but you might just need to go in with a light hand, but a really beautiful kind of like flush of color. And very excited to see this one in the line in the shade Rendezvous. And this will be great if you have a deeper skin tone. I know finding blushes if you have a deeper skin tone at the drugstore can be a nightmare. So very excited to see this one in here. And I know that kind of deeper blushes can be a little bit intimidating if you have a lighter skin tone, but go in with a light hand. You'd be very surprised to see how flattering they can be. Oh, and I should also mention this line is launching throughout October. It, of course, is going to depend on where you live, your drugstore. Be sure to check outside of like the regular Rimmel area because it may be on its own side display, but keep in mind that Walmart Canada generally stocks Rimmel on their website quite early, and Shoppers Drug Mart is now also stocking drugstore makeup on their website as another avenue to order from, which is very exciting for Canadians. The UK generally gets Rimmel first, then Canada, then the US, so not totally sure on any other information, but in Canada it should be showing up this month. Moving on to the Magnif'eyes palette in the Crimson edition. I got tons of questions about this one. Is it a dupe for the Urban Decay Naked Cherry? And right off the bat, I will say no. I don't think it is a shade for shade dupe. And I always get myself in trouble when I'm talking about drugstore eyeshadow palette dupes because someone will come and comment like 2 months after the video's gone up and be like, well, I want affordable makeup options. And I'm like, when did I say you shouldn't have affordable makeup options? I'm here reviewing Rimmel. I obviously love drugstore. What I don't love is when brands just copy each other. No matter drugstore, high-end, whoever it is, the copycat game to me gets old, it gets boring, and it leaves us with less options. I want to have a warm pink drugstore eyeshadow palette just as much as the next guy, but I don't want it to be a complete dupe for Urban Decay. I want to be able to create similar looks, but like Rimmel, L'Oreal, CoverGirl, they all have just as much money as Urban Decay or whoever it is. Half of them are owned by the same people anyways, so I just want to see a little bit of variety. I want accessible, great, beautiful, trendy eyeshadows at the drugstore because they have the money and the resources to be able to do it instead of just playing copycat, if that makes sense. That's my rant. Someone's gonna get mad about it. So be it. I said what I said. But I do think that this is a great palette. I do think you can get similar looks to the Naked Cherry. It is not a shade for shade dupe though. It definitely has a drier formula. You definitely need an eyeshadow base if you have oilier eyelids. It's a little bit not as pigmented as something like the Urban Decay, and when I swatched this I really was a little bit like, uh-oh, it's not looking so good, but then when I put it on my eyes it was actually much better, thankfully, because ultimately swatches don't matter. If the swatches are great and it looks like crap on your eyes, who cares? It's the eye performance is what matters to me. So I really like this. I think it has a nice mix of mattes and shimmers, a good variety of shades in here. Even though it is kind of all similar shades, I really like this shade here. I think is really unique and beautiful for the drugstore. This pink is fun, and these kind of shades can get really dicey really fast, so I think it's good. I don't think it feels like a high-end eyeshadow palette, but I do think it feels really, really good, and Rimmel overall tends to be more affordable than the majority of drugstore brands. They've kind of stayed at a really nice price point in my opinion, so I definitely think this is a good palette. And if you had your eyes on Naked Cherry but you didn't want to spend the money, or you already have a bunch of eyeshadow palettes, I think this is a great alternative, and I do really like it. The most exciting part of these new launches are the Stay Satin liquid lip colors. I totally jumped the gun and included these in a recent favorites video before I even had the chance to review them, because I was like, I love them so much. I love, love, love the ColourPop satin lipsticks. Those are like one of my favorite my favorite lipstick formulas of all time, no matter what. So I was very excited to see these satins because I liked the Stay Mattes, the originals. They were good. They weren't like my favorite liquid lipstick ever, but I thought they were good. But these I love even more. They have a satin formula, so they're not going to be 100% transfer proof. They're not going to last for like 12 hours, but you're getting comfort, you're getting very strong pigmentation, and it's going to last on your lips. The deeper shades will last longer than the lighter shades, but I found when it wore away, it didn't wear away in a patchy, gross way like a liquid lipstick can. It kind of wore down, and it depends shade to shade. If you're wearing a lip liner, did you dab it on your lips? Did you put it full on? And if you do kind of put it full on, I find that it starts shiny and then kind of wears down more matte, or you can kind of dab it on your lips and it gives like a really, really beautiful effect. One thing that I noticed about this range in comparison to the other that had launched, the original Stay Matte, is the shade range is so much better. I found like the original Stay Mattes, the nudes were so concealery, so light, and not enough variety, but the nudes in this, I love every single shade in this launch. The first two that you're going to see look very, very nude, but I've worn them both before with a lip liner and dabbed them on my lips with like a bolder eye, and I thought it was gorgeous. There's so many nice shades in the range. I'm excited to see if they end up extending it as well, but even just this existing range is really, really beautiful. So very comfortable to wear on the lips. There's a little bit of stick. I don't mind a little bit of stick, because that means it's going to stick around more and not be so slippery, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable or goopy or thick. They feel really good on the lips. Like I've worn this to lunch, I wore it at like a movie night. Like I've been trying to really test them out before I got this review up, and I've been really, really happy with the shade selection and the way that they wear on my lips. So very, very happy with these. And I think that if you're looking to purchase anything from what I'm talking about today, I definitely recommend the lip colors for sure. But let's go ahead and get into the lip swatches. So I'm very, very happy with these lip colors. I just think that they're so beautiful and so comfortable. They're gonna retail for around $8.99 depending on where you pick it up. Of course, that will vary, and then drugstores always have sales too, so keep your eyes peeled for that. I believe the blushes are $9.99, and then the eyeshadow palette is $11.99. So overall, really, really happy with these launches. The liquid lipsticks or the satin lipsticks really stick out to me as kind of the thing I'm the most excited about. Really loving the blushes. I think it's a nice, because to launch 4 blush shades is quite small, but I think they did a good job covering 4 really great shades in that launch, and I like the packaging. And then the eyeshadow palette I think is good. It's not like the best eyeshadow palette I've ever tried. I do find it a little bit dry, but it definitely is nice. Just use a base, and if you want to really make those shimmers pop, spray a brush. Because of course, if you were eyeing the Urban Decay Naked Cherry, that's like $66 versus, you know, $10 or $15 for that palette. So you can definitely make it work, but I find it's a little bit on the dry side. But anyways, that is everything that is new from Rimmel. Let me know if you have seen these around. Do you plan on trying anything? And what your favorite lip color was. Oh, there's so many. I love them all. But thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!